it up for Willie T. Rich.
And the not missing four like Ricky Gasson.
Talk to Big Willie. He can tell you some history on street racing.
That way the kids don't have any reason to be on the public streets.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of African American Racers Association podcast. Today we are at a racetrack, which is so fitting, and we are going to be interviewing Jwan Smith, who I don't even really know anything about him. Actually, I know him. I know that he's on the racetrack at the drag strip all the time, but I tried to Google him and nothing comes up. But I think that's a positive thing because there are a lot of jobs out there, a lot of different things that we can be involved in that you can't Google. So, Jwan.
I'm surprised none of my stuff from my high school days popped up. You know, that's what I've been living off of since high school. So I'm a little disappointed on that.
I'm sorry. But Jwan, why don't you tell us, start off by telling us what your title is, what that entails, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the team engineer for Kalitta. I joined in 2017. At my first year, I told Jimmo, who hired me at the time, to let me work on the car. I want to understand how things work. I want to work with the guys, build a relationship with everyone on the team. And I'm so humble about doing that because the engineer I am today I wouldn't have established myself as that without doing that. So my day-to-day, I work in the shop. I do a lot of designing, whether it's chassis related, engine components. I do that Monday through Friday, and then Friday through Sunday, I'm at the racetrack as a track support engineer with Toyota and Kalitta, and that entails monitoring the racetrack using our grip meter that Toyota developed. I work with great people on the Toyota side with Slugger Labby, Paul Flynn, JP. You remember JP used to be out here. Yes. Now he's back home in California. Todd Holbert, a lot of those guys that we're very fortunate to have with Toyota. So weekends I use the grip meter and we're monitoring the weather constantly, talking to the crew chiefs. Hey, rubber's starting to peel. We want to stage in, we want to stage out, things like that. And that feedback's important to them, at least I think so. And because the crew chiefs are so focused on their car, and anytime you can take some of that burden off of them, whether that's watching the track, the weather coming in, it helps them a lot, just, less things they have to worry about. And I get feedback with our crew chiefs throughout the day. Hey, can you look at this area? Do you think we can get away with more here? Or do you think we can push it more this session? So that's the feedback we give back throughout the weekend.
Okay. And that's Kalitta Motorsports.
Yep.
Racing NHRA, drag racing. You guys have funny cars and dragsters.
Yep, one funny car and two dragsters. JR drives our funny car, Sean drives our dragster, and Doug as well drives the dragster as well.
Okay. So let's go ahead and just take it all the way back. I'll rewind all the way.
Yep.
Where did you grow up? Where did your first interest in motorsports come from? Was it influenced from parents? How did you get involved?
My first racetrack, I was a couple months old. I went with my dad. Yeah, local. It was a 10th mile racetrack. It doesn't exist anymore. Spencer Speedway. We called it the Hoot. My first started with my granddad. He raced a little bit street race at this racetrack, and then he got my dad involved with it. My dad fell in love with it, and thought there was something that he would hope I would fall in love with. Yeah, and it was a vacation for us. The weekends that was something I looked forward to. Waiting for Saturday to go to the racetrack. Then we expanded, started traveling. I went to Maple Grove when I was 3 years old, and I said, man, this is something I want to do all the time. And we have family friends, the Fletcher family, Dan Fletcher. He's our hometown hero. He lives 15-20 minutes away from us, or used to. He lives in Raleigh, North Carolina now, and I used to travel to the races with him, and probably till my teen years. And I said I really want to go to school to be an engineer and work in this industry. And I sent an email to Jimmo in 2016.
Jim Oberhofer.
He was the VP of Kalitta Motorsports at the time. Sent him an email in 2016, my senior year of college, saying, hey, if there's an opportunity, I'd like to come work at Kalitta. And he got back to me a couple months later. I didn't hear from him for a couple weeks, so that was kind of blown through. But he got back to me. We set up an interview around February sometime in 17. My parents came. We drove to Michigan. And originally I was going to just get my MBA and then kind of do that on the side. He said, hey, they started at that time we had 3 dragsters and 2 funny cars. So we had just got the global deal where we added Sean as a driver. So he needed people, and he said, "Hey, we need you to come here full time." And I kind of threw the NBA route out, and been here ever since. And that, like, I can't thank Jimmo enough for that. Him and Jono. Without them, I probably wouldn't be here today.
So you grew up in New York.
Yeah, Rochester,
okay.
New York.
Okay. And Maple Grove is in Reading, Pennsylvania.
That's
why he can drive there.
Yeah, that's about 5 hours south of where my hometown Rochester is.
Okay.
So we used to go to Englishtown,
Okay.
Norwalk. My dad still does. He's starting to go to Indy now.
Oh, okay.
Epping was another race we used to go to as a kid. And I used to go with, I had a couple other buddies of mine that would travel with us. We would do it as a just kind of family group trip. Like I said, it was a vacation for us to go to the races and spend time together. And now I get to do it for a living, so it's a pretty neat deal.
So what made you want to go the engineering route? You know, you hear everybody talk about, well, I want to be a driver. Oh, I want to be, well, I guess you kind of were a hands-on crew guy, but what kind of got you into the engineering side? Where did you go to school? And like when you were in school, what was it you were going to try and do? I know you said you were going to try and get your master's, but what was the end goal of that?
Yeah, so I got my mechanical engineering degree from Alfred University. It's about 2 hours south of Syracuse, 3.5 from Albany. It's an hour drive from my hometown. I really liked it. I enjoyed working on things, and I thought, man, it'd be cool to start designing things that would bolt onto a race car, and that passion just grew. And I just really, any way I get involved in racing, I was going to take that route. But I enjoy working on things mechanically and design side as well. So that was what pushed me to get my mechanical engineering degree.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if just hypothetically speaking, if you were going to go into something besides racing, like what if you hadn't heard back from Jimmo? What do you think you would have done?
Before I wanted to be an engineer, I actually wanted to get into politics, and thank God I didn't go that route. Not trying to stay off that topic. Politics is. I'm glad I didn't.
Especially now.
I didn't go that route, but no, that was before engineering. I wanted to try to go be a politician. I really love history, United States history, world history, but
I feel you on that. My degree is actually in political science.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's
so,
kind of a
yeah.
But you're here.
We'll just put that over there. Yeah, we're both here.
No, but to answer your question, if I didn't get a job here, I guess you go work somewhere corporate, and I'd be at home still. I don't know if I would have been as well-rounded and a better person that I am today without the opportunity. And of course, Connie Kalitta.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, Connie is.
Kalitta.
Let me put it out there. One of the greatest owners. I think. I watch a lot of sports. We were talking about football earlier, and I can arguably say he's probably one of the best owners in all of sports. Just how he takes care of his employees and how he talks to everyone. He's a great guy. So let me not forget Connie and Doug Kalitta. They are great people to work for. I have nothing bad to say about them, and I think a lot of people that leave Kalitta say the same thing as well. So I don't want to forget about those guys too.
Of course not. So what made you write the letter? I mean, it's just kind of, like you said, you did it and you didn't hear back for a couple of weeks and you were like, okay, well, I tried. What initially got you going?
Well, like I said, my passion for racing, it's why I wanted to get involved. I knew all the big teams that were out here for Schumacher. I just happened to get lucky and found his email from someone at Kalitta and sent it to him. I sent it to Schumacher's team, and I believe I sent it to someone at Forces as well. And they got back to me first, and I'm so fortunate enough that I'm really happy that was the team that got me. Whatever way it would have went, if I went to Schumacher Forces, whatever happened would have happened. But I'm very happy I landed at Kalitta.
Yeah, of course. Just taking chances.
Yeah, that's what I did. I'm taking a chance on the interview here, right?
Good job. So now kind of talking about like going to, you grew up at the racetrack.
Yep.
So just kind of talking about some of your experiences. You went with your dad, just kind of, it being a local racetrack, what was the atmosphere like? What did you kind of encounter, or did you even notice when you were a kid anything strange or weird, or people looking at you funny, or what were some of the experiences that you had going to the racetrack with your dad?
I guess I've never paid attention to that. Everyone that goes to the racetrack they're there for what? They love racing. They're there to enjoy it. So I really never paid attention to that. Everyone there was there to either race or spectate. So I had friends that would say, "Man, why are you going to the racetrack?" I played basketball growing up to my early days in college, and they'd say, "Why are you taking a weekend to go to the races?" I'm like, "It's what I love to do. It's a hobby of mine that I enjoy to see and someday get involved with."
Yeah.
So I guess I've never paid attention to a whole lot of that. I've noticed, I guess, being out here, this sport does a good job with getting people of all different backgrounds. Not as many as some, but they do a good job with getting people of different backgrounds, and I think it creates a comfort zone, and it's good for the sport. When people see when they can make connections with people, it just makes it easier getting involved with it.
So did you ever bring out any of your basketball friends to the racetrack? Let them see what it was that you were so in love with?
Yeah, I did. They thought it was nuts, and they loved it. And all of them have brought other people out. I have 2 friends in the NBA right now, Thomas Bryant and Quentin Rose, and my goal is to try to get them out here.
Yeah.
To enjoy it. I've never brought them out. I played in high school with them.
Yeah.
And they're killing it in the NBA. I'd like to try to get them out here and see what we do and smell the fuel and get some rubber on their face and see if they enjoy it. But I tell everyone, I get you out here once, and I can guarantee you'll come back and you'll enjoy what you saw, because I think we have a good product here at NHRA and drag racing, and it's a healthy sport.
Yeah, yeah. I want to go back and talk a little bit about what you do day to day. So you're designing the parts that are going on these race cars.
Yeah, it's stressful sometimes because you're like, man, you put it on, and you're like, man, I hope it lasts. Or when you see a malfunction out there, you're like, man, was it something I made? So I take big pride in that, and like I said, I go back to my years when I worked as a crew guy. That helped me when it came to designing, and also building a relationship with the crew guys who work on these things every day, right? So you got to make something that's user friendly for them. So you go and ask them, hey, is this going to work? Hey, what do you think about this? Getting their input. That's important, and I think it adds value to them as well. Making them feel they're a part of it, because it's all a team deal when I go and make something, and not just myself, but everyone else at the CNC shop. My boss, Scott Finnis, who runs our CNC department, great guy to work for. He runs an incredible department, just trying to keep everyone involved with what we do, and it's helped our program.
All right. So when you were a crew guy, I guess that was your first experience of being on the other side of the ropes, right?
Yep.
So when you were a crew guy, kind of talk about how did everyone kind of bring you in? How did other people react to you being there? I know they had just added, another team and they needed people. So kind of just talk about the not even just within Kalitta, but just all of NHRA. Kind of what was your experience now not being a spectator anymore?
It was being my first year and first job. It was, sometimes I had to pinch myself because you're around people you grew up with, or not grew up with, but grew up watching. And, the Jimmy Prox, Jono, Todd Smith, John Forrest, Sean, JR. That was pretty neat, but behind the ropes, you gotta have some thick skin out here. Everyone jokes around and things like that, but it was a neat deal to be a part of.
Yeah.
Like I said, working on it, traveling on the road, that was eye-opening. And these guys don't get enough credit for that. I don't think sometimes is, you're away from home, you set up on Friday or Thursday, and you race all week, and you're here all day, right? We run at 7 o'clock tonight. These guys are here early and just waiting for that first run, servicing whenever they can. Come here tomorrow, 2 runs. Then you've got Sunday, and if you get, you lose first round, that sucks. You're sitting around Sunday, you tear down, and then you get back on the road Monday to go to St. Louis, and then they've been on the road for 3 weeks. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I give those guys all the credit in the world. And then, like I said, it was a humbling experience to be involved with that. And that's something that I really appreciate about the guys that work on these cars for any team.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
traveling and being away from your family is a lot to give up, you know, for dailyhood. So.
Yeah, I hear you. So, traveling on the road, getting to see the country, the whole country, essentially, because we do it all. Kind of, what were some of your experiences there? Different types of environments that you kind of got to be in, and kind of talk about some of the. You said it kind of shaped you, made you more of a well-rounded human being.
Yeah, especially when I probably the furthest I had been, you know, up until 17 was maybe Ohio, as far as going west, and Florida going south. But it's different, you know, and you've got different people all over the country. You know, you know, when you speak of the United States, you know, it's a melting pot, and you've got just, you know, it's like when you're in the Midwest is different than being in New York City, I guess is what I'm going to say. And it made me well-rounded is you're open to what people think and feel just because what they're exposed to. You know, someone in New York, you know, their mindset may not be the same as someone in the Midwest. You know, and when I go, not getting back to politics, but I think that, you know, some people when you hear them talk, well, they're not being exposed to, you know, maybe what they've seen in other places or what other people experience.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the cool part. Denver, you know, that's a really cool area. I love California. The beach over there is amazing, and traveling was awesome, and it still today is great.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it also says something to the sport or just the kind of career path, whatever you kind of get into. If you're able to be traveling around, it does make you more well-rounded. It does make you more open-minded.
Yeah, for sure.
And make it easier for you to kind of be
open
and take things with a grain of salt, or you know, kind of be able to kind of shape your thoughts and be able to say, okay, I understand you think this, but I think this, and this is why.
Right.
Type of thing. So I feel I'm glad you said that, because that's something that I feel like is kind of lost a little bit when we start talking about motorsports.
Yeah.
The fact that there's no like home team, like
Right,
you don't
right.
have a home stadium, you know, that you go back to, and those are your fans, and that's what you got. We have fans all over
United
the country,
States.
all
Yeah.
over the United States,
all over the world,
all over
right?
the world,
This is
really.
you know, globally,
Yeah, of course. So I think that's, you know, being open-minded to, you know, the fans in, you know, that are up in Epping, New Hampshire are going to be way different than the fans over in Pomona, California.
Right.
You know, and the mindsets are going to be different, and you know, I think also being able to kind of you make friends everywhere you go.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Talking to them, like you're also doing them a service by saying, well, I don't know, maybe you should think about it like this. So I feel like I've never really thought about it like that, and I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that.
No, and the networking, you know,
Yeah.
we're out here so much, right? Hell, we see each other sometimes more than we would see our couple, you know, our people we're dating. But you build a friendship, a network, and you actually become family. And it, like I said, I'm a better person being involved with this, because there's things I wouldn't have thought about in my early years, that, you know, even retirement, you know, just talking to different people, hey, do this with money and things like that. But because you're exposed to so many people, so many wealthy people, not wealthy people, and like I said, all different backgrounds.
Well, and all different types of people in like all different job situations. Like we have sales guys out here, we have PR and marketing, we have the guys that are the track specialists, we have the crew guys, you have the team owners.
Safety safari.
Safari, you know, it's like, okay, all of these guys, this literally melting pot of America is traveling with you from place to place to place, and you get your network, you get your people in your corner that are kind of looking out for you, and I think that's something that's really nice about especially NHRA. I'm sure it's in other motorsports as well, but that your people in your corner are in your corner because you're good at what you do, and that's all they really care about.
Yeah.
They want, just like you said, you're making parts that are going on the race cars, and you're like, sweet baby Jesus, I hope that this is not my fault if something goes wrong, or I hope nothing goes wrong in the first place.
Right,
but,
safety's number one.
Yeah,
you know.
we hope nothing goes wrong in the first place, but you know, as long knowing, and it's also a trust thing. They have to trust that you're going to make a product that's going to be able to withstand 330 miles per hour,
Right.
11,000 horsepower plus, whatever it actually is, and go 1,000 feet and probably do it more than once.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like you need the consistency, and you need to be able to make that part over and over and over again. So I feel like there's a lot of trust that kind of goes into what you do, and having people with the last name Kalitta trust you to do those things,
Yeah.
and having your drivers trust you too. I mean,
Drivers, crew guys,
guys.
crew chiefs.
Yeah.
Like I said, you build a core relationship, and I'd like to think that I've got a pretty good relationship with a lot of the guys at Kalitta. Our day-to-day way we joke around, it makes. I enjoy coming to work every day because it's easy.
No
to
bad
deal.
days. No bad days.
There are some, right? But
I mean,
that's part of
But
it.
you share those bad days
Yeah.
with those same people, so
Right,
it doesn't
right.
make it as bad.
and the guys I work with, at least we call it like we see it. We call each other out on it, and I'd rather have it like that.
Yeah.
I want to know where I stand with people and
Yeah,
things
of
like that. So
course.
I enjoy coming to work every day at Kalitta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I mean, I don't want to say like what's next, like where are you going off to, but like what do you feel like you're going to stay in this same kind of situation? Do you want to expand what you do? You said, you went from being a crew guy
Yeah.
to now you're, building the parts. Like where do you see yourself going?
That's a good
You're
question.
young, I know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
26, man. Hell, I didn't know I forgot I was having this interview this morning, but I don't know. Maybe a driving opportunity, that'd be cool. I really enjoy dealing with sponsors. So one of my roommates for a long time is Bob Lawson. He's Bob and Luke. They're business managers and PR stuff. So,
Yeah.
I enjoy that side. I enjoy the technical side. I think Chad has an awesome role. He has a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
He's an incredible guy, and he has a lot. He's involved with a lot. I guess maybe somewhere down the road, maybe an assistant GM position down the road. I don't know. I haven't thought that far.
Yeah, of course. It's just the fact that you're like in a good enough situation and you're making the right connections and creating the right relationships with the people at Kalitta that that if that opportunity comes up, they're not going to overlook you for it. You're going to be considered because A, you're a smart guy, B, you're good at what you do, C, you've already worked your way up, D, you kind of made connections with everybody already. So I mean, I see that for you.
We'll see.
I see it.
I don't know. I still, like I said, I don't know. Hell, I don't even know where I'm going after this. But we'll
yeah, of course.
That'd be a cool opportunity. That's something
Yeah.
I've thought about. Just as far as getting better, my
Yeah.
waking up every day. You're not promised tomorrow, so you got to make the best of today.
Yeah.
And just getting better.
Keep learning.
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
expanding.
And learn from people that have done it.
Yeah.
Our crew chiefs, crew guys,
Yeah.
Bob Lawson, business managers, Scott Duncan, Chad,
Yeah.
Jimmo.
Yep.
Just learning from them and just
Soaking it all in.
constantly getting better. My boss, Scott Finn, is in the CNC shop, just on the design side, just constantly getting better every day. So
Yeah.
any way to get myself better and put myself in a better position.
Yeah. Well, you've got the right mentors. That's for sure.
No, they all are. They just keep it real with you, and that's how I like it. And
Yeah.
it's helped me. Like I said, I'm better today than I was yesterday. So
At what point did you realize that not only did you want to be out here, but you belong out here? Like you're gonna make it out here. At what point, or have you had that point yet?
when I wake up every morning. No, I think when I made it a full year of being a crew guy, and Jimmo said at the time, if you can't make it these first two races, you're not going to make it out here. And I thought I could make it out here. And then when you start having conversations with some of the legends out here, and they recognize you, you're like, I didn't think I was just doing my job.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I was a standout or anything, and I still don't think that today.
Yeah.
But getting recognition from people like the Snake and Connie and things like that, that makes you feel good. And I enjoy what I do, like I said, and
kind of validated that, okay,
yeah,
all right, I am good at what I'm doing, or at least I'm passable.
They haven't fired me yet.
They haven't fired me, and they
yeah.
know my name.
Right. So we're just gonna stick with that.
We're just gonna keep going, keep moving ahead. And You know, we've talked about in the past, like, we don't necessarily, I'm speaking as we, you know, there's a point where it's like, okay, we want them to know who we are, but we want them to know who we are for the right reason.
It's a good point. You know, I don't want my race to be why I'm here. You know,
Exactly.
I want people to respect me for what I do, and or not respect me for what I do. Right?
Yeah. If you don't like me, that's okay too. But
Yeah.
don't let it be about.
But you know, I want my character to be defined on my work ethic and me getting up every day and what I do and how I interact with people, and I think everyone has respected that, or so I think.
Yeah, well, I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we'd still be here, out at the races and doing all this if there was any sort of that feeling that it was only
No,
because.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nah, and
so then it must be. It has to be.
What you and I do, and everyone out here, this is a professional sport, right? So, I tell Chad all the time. I said, if I'm not performing, I need to be let go, right? We are performance based. We have people that spend millions of dollars to be involved with this, and
To
when
get
you
wins,
don't,
to get media, to
exactly.
get,
You know, when you don't perform, that is not good, right? That's no different than the NBA or college coaches or whatever, you know, professionally. So you have to do well, and when you don't, things need to be talked about, whether you belong to stay or not. And well, we're still here. So
I know. You must be doing something right. But I just want to say thank you so much for kind of shedding some light on what it is you do. It's different than, you know, a crew guy or a driver, you know, that we've kind of already had a lot of talks with. So just opening up people's eyes and trying to show them that there's a lot that you can be involved in if you have a passion for motorsports. He thought it was just going to be a hobby, and here he is now.
Doing it for a daily living. And you know, it is stressful sometimes, you know. Being out here, when you lose, I hate losing, and you know, I'm a competitive person just like everyone out here, and you know, I'm friends with Austin Prock and those guys, and we joke around, but you know, when I lose to him, I don't want to talk to him because you know, I feel like he stole some of my money when they go out and win the race. So it's the nature of the beast being competitive. It's great, and I think we got a great sport here in NHRA drag racing, and you guys do an incredible job in what you do.
Thanks.
And I'm excited for the rest of the season, and we'll see what happens after that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Peace out, guys.